Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is straight out of Boston here. Today I am back for episode number 7 of my Brooklyn Nets MyLeague series here on NBA 2K16. So as you can see, we are 2.5 games out of the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, and in that 8th seed is our opponent in today's episode, the Milwaukee Bucks, who really have a loaded young roster. They have a ton of young talent on this team, and of course they made the playoffs last year. Probably expectations a little bit higher this season, although they did have, the 6th seed, I believe, into the Eastern Conference last year, and I don't know if they can break into that echelon of the top 4 or 5 teams in the East. I could certainly see it happening. Their roster probably has a higher ceiling than a lot of rosters in the Eastern Conference. But anyway, they are only in the 8th seed in this season, so we are chasing them down, like I said, 2.5 games out, entering tonight's affair, and we have a chance to cut that lead down by a game if we can get the victory. It's Brook Lopez getting things started early. He would go on to have a massive night. You guys will see at the end of the day what his final stat line looks like. But it's Chris Middleton, one of the more underrated players in the NBA, in my opinion, getting in on the action with the three-pointer. But it's Brook Lopez on the other end with the and one, so he's got our first 5 points of the night. Now down by 1. Shane Larkin in there finds Thomas Robinson cutting backdoor to the hoop. One-handed slam. We go back up by 1. Now it's 8-7 Milwaukee. Michael Carter-Williams finds Middleton in the corner, and the three-pointer is good from the corner, the shortest three-pointer in the on the court. In the NBA court, at least. It's Michael Carter-Williams to the hoop, though. You know, he's not the best shooter in the NBA, but he certainly can finish around the rim, and he does it right there. Now it's a 5-point lead. Middleton in the corner, another three-pointer. He's got it. He's got 8 points early on here. A 16-10 lead for Milwaukee. It's Bojan Bogdanovic, excuse me, as I do in every episode, get the names mixed up. Now down by 4, it's Jared Bayless to the hoop. The former Boston Celtic there getting into the action. Makes it a 6-point lead now. It is Shelvin Mack trying to run the pick and roll. He's going to bully his way to the hoop here past Jabari Parker. Pretty good defense by Parker, but either way, Mack gets to the hoop now. Down by 5, Bayless. He's going to try and make that 7, and he does with the layup right there, going up by 7, about 90 seconds to play in the first. Now 25-17. Lopez down low. Tries to, being picked up, I should say, by Jabari Parker, but he is too small, and Lopez takes him to the hoop right there. Post-hook shot is good. Down by 6, that would be the score entering the second, as it is 25-19. Milwaukee on top early here, trying to pick up a road win in the Eastern Conference and extend their lead for that 8th seed in the East, in the conference. They obviously want to make the playoffs just as much as we do. Of course, we didn't even have our draft pick this year, so we probably have more incentive than they would otherwise. But here we go now. It's the pick and roll with Thomas Robinson, and you know when Robinson gets the ball that close to the hoop, he is always good for a two-handed flush. Now we're down by 5. It's Brook Lopez trying to get in again on the action post move. He just bullies his way to the hoop and makes it a 3-point game. Now 28-25. It's Carter-Williams with it, trying to go right by Shane Larkin, and he does just that all the way to the cup. Right-handed layup off the glass is good. 5-point lead for Milwaukee. Now Jabari Parker, ISO moves, pull-up jumper. That one is good over the block attempt from Bogdanovic. Now a 7-point lead for Milwaukee. It's Bogdanovic looking for the pick and roll with Lopez, and he's going to go to the hoop. Left-handed layup off the glass is good. Lead is back down to 5. Now it's a 5-point game. Robinson looking on the break for Bollard to the hoop, and that is going to be a two-handed slam. Another one of our big men, or one of our big men who love to slam it around the rim. And look at the defense by Bollard, but still Carter-Williams gets the layup to go. So Milwaukee having their way offensively. 38 points so far, about 4 minutes left in the second quarter. It's Shelvin Mack from behind the line. And this is something I want to touch on a little bit here for a moment. 3-point shooting is something I know we have to add to this team in season number 2. Once again, we probably are not going to, actually in the game, we don't own our own draft pick. We own the Celtics draft pick. Now in real life, that's a pick swap for the 2017 draft, but I imagine the game is just assuming the Celtics are going to be better than the Nets in 2017, which, I don't know, I guess you could say that is a fair assumption to make. You could also make the argument it's not so fair, but either way, that is just how the game has done it. So we're not going to have our own first-round pick again next year, which just further incentivizes me to try and maybe not make this a quick rebuild, but try to, at least use, we have the financial resources and we're going to have the cap space to at least, try to make a competitive team next year. Even if we're not NBA title contenders, I still think, and one of the ways we can do that is, back to my original point, one of the ways we got to do that is to add 3-point shooting, because we just don't have the 3-point shooting on the team this year. I think I only took 3 or 4 3-pointers all game in this episode, and that's obviously not how I want to play. I like to think of myself as a forward thinker, and I realize that, one of the more efficient ways to score in today's NBA is pace and space and 3-point shots and layups. And so, you're going to see me in these season 1 episodes attempting a lot of layups and getting to the hoop a lot and running a lot of pick and rolls. And then ideally what I'd really like to do is run those pick and rolls and then be able to hit shooters You know, if help defenders are going to crash the paint like that, especially with a guy like Brook Lopez who's going to command double teams, if he's going to have the opportunity to kick it out to shooters for open three-pointers, that's, you know, ideally what you want to base, or that's what I want to base my offense around personally. So that is sort of how I look to build my team. And shooting is something we're definitely going to add in the offseason. Now, Shelvin Mack, if he proves he can hit some shots like he hit when I started this tangent, coming off screens like that, then he would certainly be a good fit for our backup point guard spot. But, you know, we have guys like KJ McDaniels and Lance Stevenson on the wing who can't really shoot. And this is one of the reasons why I traded Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, is because I thought if Hollis-Jefferson was going to play for me, it was going to be as a small ball 4. And I honestly like Chris McCullough a little bit better in that role. I think he profiles a little bit more like a Thomas Robinson, where he's supremely athletic and is a good rebounder and can slam it around the rim. Hollis-Jefferson, like I said, maybe has a little bit more of a wing skill set, but probably because he can't shoot, I'd rather him play as a small ball 4. So I just sort of like McCullough better in that role as it is. That's a lot of people were wondering, you know, why would you trade around to Hollis-Jefferson? He's this good young player. The Nets picked up and all that good stuff. But I was just sort of explaining my rationale there. Here, let's get back into the gameplay, though. We're down by 2. It's a pick and roll with Lopez, though. This is really where Lopez started to take over in the third quarter. He had a big second half, and I think he's already got 30-plus points tonight. It's a tie game here. It's Bogdanovic, though. He's going to give us a 2-point lead with the jumper. So we're up 66-64. Now McCullough on the rebound. McCullough, excuse me. And it's McDaniels going to the hoop here. Tough layup, but it goes. His first field goal of the evening here for KJ McDaniels, and he gets that to go surprisingly enough. It's Grievous Vasquez finding Jared Bayless for the midi, though, and his mid-range jumper is good, so it's a 1-point game once again. Now Bayless looking for a 3-pointer. He's actually going to fire it to OJ Mayo for three, and OJ Mayonnaise knocks down the 3-pointer. They take a 2-point lead. Now it is 70-68 at the end of 3, so we're down by 2. Like I said, this is a big game in terms of trying to make the playoffs this year. I still think we have an outside chance of doing it. I'm going to play one more regular season episode after this one. So not a ton of time left in the regular season. We're about midway through the month of March, and so we have about 1 month of season left to play. It's Bolar to the hoop, though. He gets the two-handed slam on the pick and roll from Lance Stevenson. 72-all. Now Atentakumpo going to the hoop. We haven't heard much from him this game. We have heard a lot from Michael Carter-Williams, though. His impressive night continues. Now it is a 2-point lead for Milwaukee. Shane Larkin dancing around, pulls up for 3. Money! Shane Larkin. This is what I'm talking about. Adding that 3-point element to our offense could make us dynamic on both ends of the floor. It's Carter Williams, though, and if he can knock down that shot, he is going to be a scary player in the NBA. He's got a lot of other skills. Jump shooting, not really one of them quite yet. It's Lopez, though. Takes this one, puts the ball on the floor to the rim. Love to see that out of the big man, and it's 79-all. Now it is Lance bringing the ball up. He finds Brook Lopez on the break, and there it is. Lopez to the hoop, 2 hands once again. Now 83-81. The Bucks don't want these hands, apparently, but it's Greg Monroe to the hoop. He gets the nice contact layup of his own there. 83-all with 2:54 to play. Now it is Bogdanovic all the way to the hoop. Layup is good. Left hand. He had a big game today. Bogdanovic did almost. He had some triple-double. I think he had like 7 rebounds and 7 assists or something too. Really kind of an interesting game. Not really playing to his skill set, but just sort of playing the way that my offense plays. And anyway, though, that's going to be an and 1 for Greg Monroe, or excuse me, for Chris Middleton. So that will make it a 1-point game now, 87-86. But it's Lopez to the hoop. 2-handed slam. We're back up by 3 thanks to Brook Lopez having a monster game. He is going to finish tonight with 39 points, but he is not done yet. 89-86 is the score, and it's Monroe finding Michael Carter-Williams down low, but it's picked up by Bogdanovic. A huge defensive play. We're going to get it up to Shelvin Mack, who's going to find Lopez to the hoop. One-handed slam. 91-86, up by 5. That pretty much iced this game, and the Nets are going to go on to win. Brook Lopez getting hyped after that one. The crowd at the Barclays Center was certainly enjoying the finish of this game, as we would go on to win 94 to 88. We win by a margin of 6. An impressive game from Brook Lopez. Like I said, I gotta say, Lopez, McCullough, Bolar had a pretty good game. Shelvin Mack had a nice game, and Bogdanovic had a really, really good game. Lance wasn't so good, but that's all right. Anyway, we shoot 54%. They shoot 44. You can see it was only 2 of 8 from behind the line this game. So, like I said, not shooting a lot of threes. And you can see Lopez 39 and 8 on 22 shots. He was really efficient and only had that 1 turnover that came in garbage time, so it proved to be inconsequential. As now we're going to take a look at the Milwaukee Bucks box score. Greg Monroe, 19 points on 20 shots. Chris Middleton, though, was definitely their best player. He had 17 points on 6 of 6 shooting. Didn't do much else except score, but still was a pretty impactful player. Anyway, that's going to do it. I hope you guys did enjoy, and here's the 2K postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Brook Lopez. He had just an outstanding fourth quarter performance. He really had the fire lit under him, and down the stretch, really having a huge impact on the outcome of this game. Kenny, your thoughts?
Just a dominant display by Brook Lopez in the post tonight. Lopez is a threat on multiple levels. His offense is always going to be there, but his defense isn't far behind. And I don't think he gets enough credit for his rebounding either. He's solid all around.
The job he did down low was fantastic. That's right, fantastic. He had great understanding of the way the defense was set up in the paint. He had a ton of high percentage looks close to the bucket and converted every time. Nice game, real nice game.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.